Good morning and welcome to Boost Your Security and Your Sales Through Password and Identity Management with TigerPaw and PassPortal. My name is Corey DeYoung. I'm the Director of Marketing here at TigerPaw Software. And today with us we have Justin Josen from PassPortal, and he'll be the main presenter this morning. And I want to open this up and say thank you, Justin, for presenting this morning, and go ahead and take it away.
Perfect. Thanks, Corey. Just begin this presentation. PassPortal, as you may or may not know, we are a cloud-based identity and password management solution used by MSPs to better manage their clients' passwords, increase security, and improve technician efficiency, all while delivering a new branded value-added service for your clients. And again, thanks for the introduction, Corey. My name is Justin Josen. I'm a Partner Development Manager here at PassPortal. I actually was a former lead technician at a 22-person MSP that actually developed PassPortal, and I'll go into a little bit of history of where it came from. But I was actually one of the very first users that used PassPortal, basically from a technical standpoint and also from an administrative standpoint. I was a client lead technician. I met clients on a regular basis, and I also managed our help desk. I usually like to start the majority of our presentations by asking a couple questions. And these are mainly our pain points that we ended up asking ourselves at the MSP that developed PassPortal. If you've ever had a technician leave your company who still knew client passwords, or if you ever had a technician waste time searching for passwords when working on things. Have you ever had a client help you or ask you to help them manage their passwords? Or if you've ever wanted to change all of your passwords across your entire client base, implement the password change automation process, or even wanted to provide your clients with the ability to reset their own passwords. Have you ever needed to prove you're a HIPAA, PCI, or SOX compliant, or access a password in the field or after hours? Have you ever needed to control technician access to individual passwords? The answers to these questions, I'll be giving you solutions actually to with our password management system. So if you've answered yes to any of these questions, we have the solution for you. A couple of staggering statistics I always like to share as well. 89% of ex-employees admitted to retaining access to at least one application from a former employee. 49% of those ex-employees admitted to even logging in to an account after leaving the company. 70% of users completely forget their password once or twice a year. I know we've dealt with that, especially at the MSP level. Please reset my password, or I've forgotten my password. 19% of workers who've shared, and this is actually a staggering one, is 90% of workers share passwords personally and professionally even after an IT security policy is in place. Now, about the MSP that developed PassPortal, that MSP was Excel Professional Services. And again, I was one of the client lead technicians there at Excel. This actually was our landing page that people could go into and see that we provided managed IT support services, managed cloud services. We implemented and deployed networks, backup and disaster recovery. So we were a model MSP, and we were led by Colin Knox. He was the founder of Excel Professional Services, and now has since moved over to PassPortal and is the founder and CEO here at PassPortal. So we know exactly the situations that you're placed in, having multiple technicians trying to manage and access multiple clients. So a lot of password management systems out there are mainly built, having multiple technicians in mind, but only for one specific client. So you have a big database with multiple clients, but one specific client. Our MSP community has the specific situation where you have multi-tenant access, multi-technicians, multi-clients. So we are made for MSPs by an MSP. Now I want to go through basically the progress of Excel as we went through our password managers and what we first started on with. And I listed here sticky notes. Obviously, we never use sticky notes. I'm pretty sure none of you use sticky notes, but if you go onto a client site, and I did on a regular basis, I would see that my end users were writing down their passwords on sticky notes and posting them all over their monitors, underneath their keyboards, places where they could, easily find their passwords. So I know that they wanted to have convenience of password access, but that definitely was not a very secure way for storing that. So we definitely want to move our users away from that. We first started off storing our passwords within a spreadsheet and storing that spreadsheet on our FTP site within our Dropbox, sharing it amongst our team. But what happened is when you start to realize what happens when that spreadsheet gets corrupted, accidentally, permanently deleted, or shared with the wrong people, emailed, anything could happen with that spreadsheet, and that basically the keys to your kingdom are not in a very secure place. We graduated to storing our passwords within our RMM and our PSA. So we stored them within client descriptions, client's tickets. A technician would set up a server, then store the password for that new server within that ticket. It kind of became complex or cumbersome for other technicians that were trying to work on that same machine. They'd have to search through the PSA, try to find that password. Again, sometimes that password would be the wrong password, written incorrectly, or generally password pains of having that. We graduated to our RMM. You could easily access that through your mobile devices. However, it wasn't quite the full-featured password manager that we needed, especially for our situation of having multiple clients. And that's why we developed PassPortal. We wanted to have automated password changes, and you can now do that with our Active Directory agent that you can install multi-client, multi-domain. With a click of a button, you could actually change all of your passwords across your entire client base. We encrypt all the data within the database through AES and SHA 256 protocols. We give you granular password access control, meaning none of your junior level technicians will be seeing what your senior level technicians should only have access to. You can segregate access with our granular control there. We audit every single password interaction within the system, so whenever you log in, we take down the IP address that a technician has logged in from, the time down to the millisecond, and anything that they ever do within the PassPortal database. We have a really robust user lockout workflow. You're able to find any passwords that anybody has ever seen or touched within the system. In the event that a technician or employee has to depart, you have an easy offboarding. Just going through the workflow will show you all the passwords that they have ever known. Using the automation will lock them out of any passwords that they've ever seen or touched or used. And finally, MSP and client password collaboration. You're able to actually push this out to your clients as a value-added service, give them a place where they can store their passwords securely, and actually share amongst their team and yours. So PassPortal now, we actually are a channel-only company. We have over 600 MSP partners in 19 different countries. We've been in business for over 4 years and have data centers in both Canada and the United States. Over 50 new MSPs join PassPortal every single month, and we're led with by an experienced and dedicated executive team. Colin Knox, again, our Chief Executive Officer and founder, and also Dan Wensley, a well-known name in the IT channel. He's our president. We've gotten a lot of praise over the last year here. We've been in the press, how we make it, the majority of MSPs' lives easier by managing their passwords. We've won a ton of awards last year, and even another one this year with ASCII at Austin. Actually, we won one of the awards there for best security software, emerging software. And we're also partnered up with a bunch of franchises, IT franchises here in Canada and in the US, CMIT Solutions and MicroAge. So how do we get over 50 MSPs to join us each month? Well, we do so by providing, improved security, operational efficiency, and that new value-added service that I'm going to show you here in the demo. We have 3 pillars that we usually go off of. We will lower your cost through optimization, and beneath there you see all of the features that I'm going to show you: automated password resets, mobile access, bookmarks, MSP tool integrations, Active Directory integration. We're going to improve your security through compliance, and that includes our audit logs, managing the identities of your technicians, rotating those passwords, tracking access, multi-factor authentication, so on and so forth. And we'll increase your sales with that value-added service with that one-click logon browser extension I'm going to show you. We give you a branded interface. You can collaborate with your clients, custom permissions and security groups. Now into the interface. Our solution is fully cloud-based, a SaaS-based solution. That makes us super easy to deploy and implement, giving you a lower cost of entry, scalable with your growth. We grow. If you're a smaller MSP, we grow with you. You don't have to put down that initial investment. It's right then and there. There are no updates or upgrades to install. Our developers work on everything in the background. They have their development environment, which they push updates on a regular basis here. And we're always online and available. And there's a screenshot of accessing Passportal from an iPhone here. So anywhere that you have internet, from your mobile phones, tablets, on-site after hours, anywhere that you have internet, you have access to your credentials. Our data centers are protected with the highest military-grade protection and highest industry certifications. So if you're interested with finding out how we're protected, all of this information is available on our website. If your clients are interested with how their credentials are protected as well, definitely direct them to our website to show you all of the certifications we now hold. We are integrated with TigerPaw. A great one that we've just released here, and I'm going to show you exactly what that does with our integration with TigerPaw in 1 second here. We are fully brandable, meaning that you can put in your own logo, change your own colors, and here's an example of one of our partners that did so, Mirrors IT in the UK. They did a really good job of rebranding the software. Whenever your clients log in, they see your brand, your colors, and they see that you're protecting them and protecting their passwords with a super secure password manager. Now our interface is super easy to navigate. Across industry standards, we want to make your lives that much easier. Implementing a global search, any keyword that you put in there will automatically find any password that you're looking for, any client that's within the database, any user. If you're working on a machine and you need to add a password to the database, you can just click that global add button. So you don't have to drill down into any menus. You don't have to go into a client and add the password there. You can just add it directly from these buttons. And just like your web browser, we have recent items, a history and bookmarks. So any of your favorite passwords or clients, you can bookmark them. For recent items, if you had a service timeout on you, you can just easily access it right there instead of drilling down again into the menus. User profile management, you're able to put in your mobile phone for our native 2FA access, so you can authenticate again through phone, text, or email. Action flags denotating, if a password has undergone a rotation policy or has expired, or there's something wrong with it, it's been touched by a departed technician, will automatically notify you. And then our password management system, which I'll go through in the actual technical demo. Now for your PSA, we're able to do a whole bunch of things. So within TigerPaw, we'll give you the simplicity, the granularity, and functionality and security brought right into the PSA. So from there, and these are just screenshots of our actual integration, we connect directly to TigerPaw, the database, and we pull over basically all of the users that you've already created, all of the clients that you've already created, and we sync both databases so that whenever you add a user, whenever you add a client, it's automatically reflected within Passportal. Now just going right into the technical demo. Here, I like to show a couple different perspectives of how you would use Passportal within your regular everyday work life. So the first one that I'm going to show you is from an administrative point of view, and basically how I used it as the help desk manager. here, logging in, logs you right into your dashboard, which gives you any news, any alerts across your entire client base. And here, actually, tomorrow we're releasing a really, really cool feature, which is Active Directory self-service resets. So if any of you are suffering from, your end users always forgetting their passwords, they're not able to log into their machines, and your technicians are having to reset their passwords, now you have the ability for basically your end users to just pop into the site and they can self-service themselves, reset their own passwords, eliminating those password reset tickets. But after going over like the new feature announcements, which we release, on a fairly weekly basis, any alerts or any anything that's requiring attention will show up right here on your dashboard. A really, really cool one to take note of is passwords requiring attention. So if you have a password out there in the field that has been touched by a departed technician, here by example, this one was touched and a change is required, you can right away go ahead and edit that password, administer it right from your dashboard. This one has an Active Directory communication error. Again, you can go right in, change what's happening, and make sure that it's working for the rest of your team. As an administrator, I manage the way that our technicians access PassPortal, and we do that through really, really granular access control. Now, every single user, I'll just show you here, gets their own login information, and again, you can segregate that through permission levels. And here, permission levels actually control what you can do within PassPortal. So here, if your MSP is segregated between like teams, like a help desk team, managers, interns, anything like that, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like, you can actually segregate their access. So you can only give them limited access to everything that's within PassPortal. So over here in the left-hand column is every feature and every function that you can do within PassPortal. So from being able to add, edit, disable users, clients, editing passwords, adding, editing permissions, running specific reports, exporting or importing data, running administrative tasks. It's all super granular. So for my help desk, and this is the permission level that I'm creating, our help desk usually was junior level technicians, our first level of response. I didn't want to give them, access to some reports or administrative tasks. I only wanted to lock down their accounts to only do simplistic things. Right now, all you need to do is pull over those permissions over to the right-hand column, and right now my help desk can only view my client list, add or view passwords, to complete their work, and run one specific complexity report. So you can make it super granular. You can lock down all of your positions. If they're managers, you can add permissions to run reports. You can add them permissions to add users, so on and so forth. So we make that really granular. Now, while permission levels can control what you can do within PassPortal, security groups control where you can go. So we have a folder structure within PassPortal, and just like Windows architecture, security groups can control what folders you have access to. If you have specific departments within your team, accounting department, human resources, tiers, basically you can add all of your users to those teams or security groups, and then lock them down to specific clients. Within the clients, you can further lock them down to specific folders. And here we have our Tier 1 team consisting of these 4 technicians is only able to access my Blue Sky Group client. If I wanted to give more access, just as simple as pulling them over again. But for now, as an example, I'm just going to show you what our Tier 1 team only having access to our Blue Sky Group. Now going into users, just showing you again the granularity. And here, now I'm going to go into what exactly a technician sees when they log into the system, how easily they can access their passwords. Now Larry Fielder, he was a member of our help desk team. I'm going to just, as an administrator, look into his permissions. Here he was a part of our help desk. I get to actually view exactly what he has access to. Again, it gives him the default permissions of help desk. If Larry was a little bit more senior, I wanted to give him the ability to edit passwords. You can do so very simply. Let's see what clients he's assigned to. He's assigned to 3 clients, and then a security group. He's assigned to our Tier 1 team. So Again, this is a very locked down account for Larry. He's only able to do a couple things. View my client list, access 3 different clients, and is a part of my Tier 1 team. So now from the technician's point of view, we can actually log in as those users as the administrator to see exactly what they see. So here I'm going to log in as Larry Fielder by clicking this button. Now I'm actually logged in as Larry. So now I see what he will see when he logs in from his computer. Now going back to the dashboard, now it's a limited dashboard, only giving him the pertinent information that he needs to complete his work. Again, any news that we release, any alerts that are solely only for him, and any password requiring attention for the clients that he only has access to. Now in the Clients tab, this is where your technicians would live if you give them access to your entire client database, but essentially just showing you we've locked down Larry to only these specific clients. He can see my entire client list, however he doesn't have access to them. If Larry, for example, would need to work on Department of Public Works, the process of accessing the passwords here is very, very simple. He just needs to click Access Request button. This will send an email to a manager or administrator stating that Larry has requested access to these passwords. And how we make this easier is, from your mobile phones, you can actually approve these requests. You don't have to, go to your machines, give Larry a call, email him, do anything like that. You can approve these requests right from your mobile phone. And if Larry, say, were on site after hours, he can get access to those passwords quickly and easily just from requesting here. Now, looking into an actual company, how we store the passwords within the buckets. Really simple, just in list format. You're able to search, any passwords, live crawling within the list. They'll bring up those passwords if you have a long list of passwords. You're able even to use the global search whenever you use that. And then you can organize your passwords within folders as well. So just as I said before, security groups can limit where you can go within folders as well. So Larry was a part of my Tier 1 team. He has access to this folder. Again, any password within this folder. Moving back, he was not a part of my Tier 3 team, and just showing you how we segregate that access. He can see these passwords, however, he doesn't have access to them. He can't actually pull the passwords, but he can request access. So if Larry were to work on a server or on a senior level technician ticket, he can request access, get on with his work once you approve that request there. Now, password access is super simple. If you've been storing it in, a spreadsheet or anything like that, everybody will be familiar with, accessing a password. Everything is stored here. All the pertinent information that you get. You can even put URLs which automatically link to those websites. Any notes requiring that needed to be for trying to access that site, and also a history. So this is especially helpful if you have workstations that I was on that may have bumped off a domain or a domain, and you need an old domain administrator password. This is especially helpful. You can pull a password that it was recently changed to, anything like that. So really, really simple to use. To pull this information is little to no training as well. Now, going back to the administrative point of view, one thing that I did on a regular basis as an administrator and as a client lead technician is I met with my clients on a regular basis. I either quarterly, semi-annually, weekly, I met with our clients just to show them the value of having an MSP, what our technicians were working on, the problems we were facing within their environment. I would also print off a client audit log. Now, what this report on, actually, you can run it specifically on any client within a specific date range. This report will give me a detailed view of what technicians have access to any equipment within that site. So what they're accessing, what they have access to, what they've done with those credentials, especially helpful if you have any clients that are, HIPAA compliant, PCI or SOX. You now have a detailed log of what exactly they're doing within their environment, at what time, so on and so forth. This also transfers over to your clients when you give them the value-added service of password management. Now the owners of your company, of your clients, can run this on their own employees. So they can see exactly what their employees know. They can get quickly and easily compliant with any password regulations that they need to fulfill. Two other password reports that I ran on a regular basis were unchanged passwords and password complexity. This essentially changed the way that I spoke to my client now. I could take the trusted advisor standpoint. Now, when I ran an unchanged password report, I could let my client know if any of their end users weren't changing their passwords on a regular basis, if we had to implement a new password rotation policy. For password complexity, I could let my clients know if any of their end users had weak passwords or were prone to brute force attacks. And now we can implement a new IT security policy that was, implementing stronger passwords. Along with all these other reports that are really, really helpful, one that really, really sticks out with all of our partners is passwords known by user. This is a particularly very, very powerful report that you can run on any single user that is within the PassPortal database, any of your technicians, any of your clients and users. And by running this report, essentially it brings up a report on every single password that user knows. Any single password that user has maybe screenshotted, memorized, written down somewhere. And here we have Henry Barton. I know that in 2013, he touched this domain administrator password. He may know it. He may have written it down in an old notebook. I know for due diligence, if I wanted to really secure this client, Able Manufacturing, I can go in, change that password. It would be removed from this list. He's only locked down, or he's only accessing Blue Sky Group now. So definitely, if you wanted just that bird's eye view of what your technicians are touching, what your end users know, you can essentially run this on anybody. It'll bring up that list of anything that they've ever touched. We take this a little bit further because just as I mentioned initially at the start of our presentation, have you ever had a technician leave your company who still knew client passwords? And it is a big problem, especially for IT solution providers. What happens when your technicians leave? Do they leave with that information to access your clients when they're not with your company? Definitely don't want that access. We actually had a senior level technician who was with us for about 10 years, set up our first initial environments, our first servers, actually leave our MSP for another competing MSP. So we spent about 30 hours trying to search through our PSA, trying to search through tickets, trying to figure out, what exactly he knew, what passwords we had to change. We make that process quite a bit simpler. Any user that's within PassPortal, if you want to disable their user account or lock them out of any passwords that they may have known, simply and easily you just deactivate their user account, disable their item. What that does is it brings up all of the passwords that they've ever touched, they've ever seen or know currently at this point. And now you can go ahead and leverage our Active Directory agent, which is our password automation, and you can generate complex passwords. Click Save and Close. The agent will check in and change all of the passwords that it's able to change on the Active Directory level. So these domain administrator passwords have now been changed to whatever's listed here once I click Save and Close. Any other passwords that aren't able to leverage the automation, or websites, or router passwords or anything like that, we can actually flag them as well. So that will show up right there on your dashboard. So later on, or maybe you can assign to another technician, they can go ahead and change that password. But right now, once you click Save and Close, this user is now locked out of any credential that they have known. You can tell your clients that they are safely and securely secured from any passwords that they may have known. Now, finally, the last thing that I want to go into is our resale model, our client collaboration, when you want to actually give this solution to your clients to manage their passwords. Another statistic that I want to share with you is the average user has to remember 19 different passwords. So he has 19 different unique passwords that they use on a regular basis to access all of their sites across the board. Again, we make that a lot easier by using our browser extension here. So we developed a browser extension that's similar to all the other password form fillers that are out there, such as LastPass, RoboForm, 1Password. You can download it right now from the Chrome store. Now moving back, I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Here I already have it installed onto my browser. Now it's going to log in. So this browser extension speaks directly to the backend, to the Passportal database. Any password that has an embedded URL will populate within this list. So whenever you're just surfing through websites and need to log into a specific system, say for example, I needed to access my Office account, I can quickly and easily just search through it using the search bar. Here's the Office URL that I need to log into, so it's my Passportal Office 365 account. Now just by clicking on this key icon, automatically single sign-on signs me into the Office 365 mail account that I wanted to access. So right here now I can go ahead and do my work quickly and easily. You can do that for any of the embedded URLs here. What makes us different than other password form fillers that are out there is we give your technicians the ability to select multiple clients and multiple credentials. So a lot of the password managers out there, they default to one specific password. If your technician is managing multiple sites and they need to access, credentials for one specific, say GoDaddy, they can select amongst their list to log them into that list. Also, you can add passwords really quickly and easily if you come across them within the field. Further, it does again speak to our database. And again, you can file away any of those passwords that, for any of your clients once you come across them. If the client has a folder structure, you can select that folder that's within that client as well. So super robust, easy to use. One-click access, single sign-on is also available for you. Now, moving back to what a client sees. Here I got timed out from my session. Now, the service that you can provide your clients essentially starts with you rebranding the Passportal website here. So right now, I can actually upload my own logo, change the colors to match, your MSP's brand. And here we also give you the ability to actually create your own subdomain. So instead of your end users going to us.passportalmsp.com, they can actually go to whatever you create. So just an example, Target MSP, whatever your MSP name is, .mypasswordapp.com. They go there, they can access their credentials. Oh, and here, let's fix my branding here. Save. Now I have, this logo here. This also transfers over to the browser extension. So right when I click sync, it's going to pull over the logo and any of the branding that you've already done. So whenever your end users are accessing the browser extension, they see your logo, they see your brand, they see you securing their passwords. Now going into the back end for the client portal, if I can spell right, let's go here. Now, once you rebrand the software, it totally changes the look and feel of the client portal. And here, I'm going to log in as a client administrator. So this is the type of access that I would give to an owner of a company, CEO, CFO, on-site technical staff, somebody that's technical with storing their passwords or wants access to their passwords. So now logging in. Again, we have a recording process for our browser extension. So John Smith was the CEO of Acme Co. Now we give him another service where he can store the passwords that he knows that may not be technical passwords for your team, but just are pertinent to his company passwords. Say accounting passwords for their QuickBooks server. Now they can store them within PassPortal. They can store HR passwords. And the really, really cool thing about this is now John Smith, the CEO of AcmeCo, can control access to all of these passwords. He can share these passwords amongst his team, amongst your team, remove or deny access, basically. So if John Smith wanted to share this Adobe Creative Cloud password with his internal team or with the MSP team, all he needs to do is pull it over, update the share, boom. Whenever we log into PassPortal now, we get that share. We can access his credentials. Along with every single user account as well, we give you the ability to store your own personal passwords within a My Password personal vault. So under this personal vault, these passwords are uniquely tied only to your user account. So here you can store your own home credentials, like your online banking information. This all ties into the browser extension as well. So if I wanted to log into my, my TD Online Banking, my online bank, I can pull up EasyWeb right here from My Passwords and log into this right away just by clicking on, log into site. It's going to log me, automatically form fill, and I'm not going to log into my bank, but we give you that ease of access of just logging into all of those machines with your own personal credentials. Now this, again, the personal password vault is only tied to your specific login information. The company passwords are the ones that are shared amongst your entire internal team or your client's internal team. They can add their company passwords here. You can remove access to this when they need to be offboarded, so on and so forth. Along with all the other things that I showed you, such as the reports, those auditing features, your clients can actually leverage that as well. So if they want to know what their employees know, they could run that passwords known by user report on their clients. So super simple to use. You just search for your passwords. We have a centralized repository where you store all those. It makes accessing these passwords a whole lot easier. Along with that, the Active Directory automations. If your end users want to leverage that, it makes their lives a lot easier and just gives you a new value-added service that you can actually make money on. So little to no training to actually use. You guys saw how simple it was. Now moving back to the presentation, just answering those questions that I asked initially. If you've ever had a technician leave your company who still knew client passwords, if you've ever had a technician even waste time searching for passwords, if you've ever had a client ask you to help them manage your passwords. With PassPortal, you can lock out those users. You have centralized storage. You have security groups to control access. Everybody gets their own personal vault using one-click logons that has a single sign-on ability. And you can global search any passworded client within our database. If you've ever wanted to change all the passwords across your entire client base, implement that change automation process, or provide your clients with the ability to reset their own passwords, we give you that ability through the Active Directory automation, AAD password accuracy testing. You can reset your own passwords and that browser plugin. If you've ever needed to prove you're HIPAA compliant, access those passwords in the field or control technician access to individual passwords. Again, client audit logs, you have mobile access. You can granularly give permissions to users, access reporting, password history. Now, all of those things, again, as I showed you, will lower your cost through that optimization. Will improve your security so you have a secure place to store all those credentials, and we're going to increase your sales with that value-added service. Now, how much does PassPortal cost? It's $95 a month for 10 users, giving you unlimited clients, unlimited passwords. So if you have 10 users, you have access to the entire system. If you have over 10 users, additional user licenses are only $2 per month. So that includes, any MSP technician, any employee, any end user that has login credentials. It's $2 a month to have them access the system. So whenever you're reselling this to your end users as well, in order to give them access to the PassPortal database, you can actually mark up these licenses. It's $2 your cost. However, you can charge anywhere from $4 to $9 for these licenses as well. However, my recommendation is to charge a monthly fee. regardless if a client has 5 to 15 employees, I would charge anywhere from $50 to $150 for password management as a service for your end users. But anyways, to log in, to get started with us is $95 a month. Additional users are $2 per user per month. Along with signing up with us, you get an extensive onboarding consultation. Actually, we set you up. We train you how to use the system. We have an onboarding specialist set up a call with you. We do a one-on-one consultation. We'll set up that integration with TigerPaw. We'll show you how to implement the Active Directory sync. We'll train your technicians on how to use it. Our best practices on storing passwords. We'll import your passwords, and then we'll give you orientation and training, rebranding, and reporting and auditing. And that all comes free right when you sign up. To get started with us, we have a couple different packages. There's a 3-month package, which is 3 times 95, so it's $95 a month, $285 to get you in the 3-month package. If you opt for a longer term, we actually give you quite a bit of a break. We give you 1 month free with 6 months, and we also give you 2 months free with 12 months. And that still includes that free setup and training, 10 user licenses, unlimited clients, and unlimited passwords. And just reviewing this this webinar today, we are extending our 30-day money-back guarantee to 60 days. So after you get onboarded with us, we make sure that the software is working for your MSP. You get a full 2 months to trial the software, see if it works for you. If you can't monetize it, or if anything goes wrong with the product itself, we will 100% refund your money or your investment that you've made with that money back guarantee. So it's 100% no risk to try us out for 2 months. We just need that initial investment there. So connect with us, email us at sales@tigerpaw.com or contact your account manager there at TigerPaw. When you email us, you can sign up and guarantee yourself for that 60-day guarantee. Thanks for joining me and listening to me for this entire presentation. If you do have any questions, definitely email sales@tigerpaw.com. We'll get back to you, or I'll get back to you if we have any questions there. But going back to you.
Yes, thanks, Justin, for presenting today. I just want to say a few words about TigerPaw for those that aren't familiar with TigerPaw, that may be new prospects to this presentation. TigerPaw is an award-winning PSA that's been around for 30 years. We have over 40,000 users. We do run one solution for your entire business through CRM to inventory management, purchasing, accounting integration, and through your service ticketing and service side of things, as well as a robust list of integrations with great partners like Passportal. We would love to speak to you about onboarding with us and Passportal at the same time. It's a great feature set from both sides for you to be able to grow your business. Also, Justin, is there an email directly to Passportal if they want to go directly to Passportal?
Yeah, there is. It's info@passportalmsp.com. So it's also right there on our website. If you have any questions that you need direct, definitely let me know if you attended the webinar here, and then I'll make sure that you get the 60-day guarantee.
Perfect. That's great. Well, Justin, I want to thank you again for your time, and I want to thank everybody for listening in, and we'll close up from there. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Corey, and thank you, everybody at TigerPaw. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.